Hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. It is Saturday, the 2nd of May, 2020, and I have got some awesome people here. Let me do this introduction thing. I've got Miss Leighann Lord. She's an actress, comedian, and sci-fi nerd extraordinaire. She's amazing. Good morning, Miss Leighann.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, but I'll get over it, yes. So she's here this morning. Thank you again for being here. And we have Susan and Nathaniel from the Divine Disbelief YouTube Channel, your home for secular news and opinion. That's cool.
Hi.
Hello. It is 8 a.m. in Portland, Oregon.
It is.
So I have a Yeti full of coffee.
Yes.
Yes, coffee. The nectar of the gods.
Yes.
Well, that's debatable.
Yes, because there's also Dr. Pepper.
I am agnostic on
well,
it being the nectar of the
gods. She said she was going to, to be on this early over here. She had to pull an all-nighter. Don't tell her I went to bed at like 3:30.
He did.
So,
he did.
So yes.
That's about his usual time.
That was like a nap. So it's basically evening for me right now.
I understand. A lot of people, I deal with that as somebody who gets up in the morning, even though everything has changed and I run the show at the same time. I run into so many people whose clocks have changed and they're sleeping till.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's really, really nice. Now our roommates don't care what time of day it is.
No. They argue very, very loudly.
3 a.m.
Oh, really?
That was interesting. Yeah. So,
well, at least they do it loud enough for you guys to share. They're considered.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if they ever need marriage counseling, we can vouch for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It is hilarious.
I want to, before we get too far, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Good morning, Brainbug and Kristin. That's Brainbug, the Brainbug from Starship Troopers. If y'all are familiar, you familiar with Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
Brainbug, yes. That's how far this show goes. It's like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and the Interstellar Network. And then, of course, we get Brainbug. So good morning, everybody. Woolly Ignorant Godless Granny is here. All you wonderful people. Hello, Daniel Peterson and Derek Cruz. It's already a popping chat over there. I'm trying to keep up. But hello, everybody. Good morning, Leighann. Good morning, Nathaniel and Susan.
Good morning.
Are you ready for the weekend? Did you have a good week, I guess? Everybody's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my barometer now.
Yeah.
Not dead.
Less than dead. That used to be funny. I was just joking when I said that before. Now it's kind of more, there's like
accurate.
Yeah. More
now everybody sort of titters nervously and they're just all like, I mean, for the time being.
I say it and everybody pauses for a second. Do I laugh? Do I not laugh?
But I read that they're doing because Oregon, being more liberal, we're like taking our time with everything, which is great. But the Governor Brown the way they're doing this contact tracing thing is they're going to notify 1,000 people in the state of Oregon. Now I realize that's not much in a lot of other states, but Oregon, it's basically Portland and then mountains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so 20 of the people are going to be mountains, and they're going to be notified by mail, and it's all random. That they're the ones we're going to be doing like survey testing and tracing and stuff on. And I'm like, is this like the selective service or something? Because I didn't sign up for it and I'm not gonna. You can send me a letter. I'm not leaving my house.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck I was reading that this morning. I was like,
it's like, no thanks.
Nope. I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah.
We threatened to move to Portland once. We were going to. We eyeballed Portland. We were like, Portland, maybe. And then we thought about moving to a little bit to the north, and then it burned up. There was this fire.
2017,
yeah.
I was here early in 2017. And then 3 years later, we're back, and turns out it still rains here.
A lot.
If anybody wondered, that's a thing here.
Yeah. Still constant. Yeah.
That's where wet stuff falls from the sky, right? It just falls right from the sky.
But sometimes more than other times.
But not like in Dallas though. We looked at that. Dallas and Portland get about the same amount of rain per year.
Really?
Yeah, Dallas gets it like in 4 days, and Portland gets it in like 6 months.
Yeah.
So when it rains, it's not like it's not a downpour. Very rarely is it anything more than
a shower.
Yeah. And
So it's annoying.
can be.
That's
Yeah,
what it sounds like.
yeah, it can be.
It.
Keep your
I
hair all
can't.
frizzy, messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
the humidity all the time. Well, I came from West Texas. Well, not you. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can't.
It's what I've grown to call the pandemic beard.
There you go.
Right here.
I come from West Texas, and then I moved from West Texas to New Mexico, which is like West Texas. It's all dry, and so.
And it's
I don't-
basically just West Texas to New
I
Mexico.
got that. It's actually right there. You go. Big
Yeah,
Bend.
Big Bend.
Yeah, you have
Oh.
to hydrate or you'll
Oh.
die, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's no
Basically,
water in the
yeah.
air. So,
Yeah, and we were down there in November.
where were
Big
you
Bend
in
again.
November? Oh, Big
In
Bend.
Big
Big
Bend.
Mm,
Yeah. That's where I broke my ankle last February.
gotcha. Oh, really?
So yeah, because I had to wear a boot, a walking boot for a long time. And then we went back in November. So we were hiking at
Uh-oh.
Big Bend.
And you lost me. Hiking.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you
Very
can't come to
dangerous.
Portland.
We're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were hiking. We were about an hour and a half into a 2-hour hike.
You mean
And-
outside in nature?
Yes,
Okay.
outside
in
in
the
nature.
middle of nowhere.
Yes.
In the desert.
In the middle of nowhere.
No, not me, baby. Carry
So
on.
I
I've
misjudged.
seen this movie. That's how people get murdered.
That's how they die.
Murdered by like bears and
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I
bears.
have an official policy.
Not
I
mine.
am allergic to bear saliva and mountain
so
lion
that's just a
saliva.
reason not to go hiking.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Carry on. I'm sorry. What was your story? You hurt your hind leg.
Yes, yes. I keep interrupting with my horror.
Me too.
Well, I stepped on a rock and I misjudged how stable it was. So I stepped on this rock with my right foot. The rock collapsed. My right knee buckled and my left ankle like twisted underneath me. That reaction is the best one I've gotten so far.
Right
Get that
next to
reaction
me.
very
too.
often.
I'm feeling it for you.
Yeah.
I still feel it.
Wow.
Yeah, your tibia and your fibula, right? Your tibia is
Yeah.
your shin bone.
Like the two bones that are on the
Yeah.
inside and the outside of the ankle. Those are the two that I broke.
Yeah,
Okay.
snap them both. So
I'm touching my
Oh.
ankles right now to let them know I love them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just,
And I
like,
don't want anything to happen to them.
you don't want to give them a hole or anything.
I
yeah, it
stepped
was,
on I stepped on a rock that overestimated how stable I was, and then I collapsed.
Yeah, they'll do that. But yeah, that was a fun time trying to get out of that. Obviously, because
Yeah, it took us about 4 hours to get out.
yeah, because we came in through some of like let's call it hilly terrain. It's probably over 40-degree incline, I imagine, and trying to get back out of that was impossible to go vertical at all. So I had to climb up, I don't know, a few hundred feet to try and figure out how to get around.
It's
And
doing like this.
yeah, pretty much. And I was using like topographical maps and stuff that we had, trying to figure out exactly how we're going to be able to manage that. So yeah.
Hey, that's just like an episode of Deep Space Nine where Quark or one of them, Garrick
Quark
and Quark and Garrick, right?
Cork and
And
Odo.
one of them. Okay, so so one of them got hurt, and then the other one had to figure out how to get them to the top to get the thing to contact the ship. Oh wow, y'all
Yeah.
are
That's exactly what happened, basically.
Yeah. Because I
To figure
went.
out how to get
the
back to
ship
the car.
didn't come and pick you guys up at the
No.
end.
We went. So we
Oh,
went
yeah.
to a certain spot where where I was safe to sort of hang out for a little bit, and he went and got the car and came and got me.
Yeah.
So
Drove in.
technically, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Man, that was. And yet we went back in November,
Yeah.
and because we had a certain place we were trying to get to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a Cretaceous formation there where you see some of the debris from where what killed the dinosaurs.
Mhm.
And well, the non-avian ones. We still have dinosaurs with us, folks. Sorry, young Earth creationists, birds exist. And this time we went the longer but flat route
Yeah.
across
Wow.
to get. So it took us more time to get there, but she also didn't break her other ankle this time.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
and then
Safety
it was,
first.
Yes,
Yeah.
I panic in
Yeah.
nature. I'd have been looking at her like, "Oh no, we're gonna die. I'll have to eat you."
I think there was some point where that probably
crossed his
flashed through
mind.
his brain.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
because it was, you know, it was like, okay, I have to like look ahead and try and figure out where we are, and to make sure that we're like in this dry, because you know there's rivers in the desert at certain times of the year, but to try to figure out exactly where to walk and where we're going to be able to make it and stuff. And so that was part of the fun this time.
Yeah.
Was getting there and doing that, and of course, you know, we're still carrying liters of water and packs, you know, and stuff like that. And so
and you do this for fun, you say?
For fun.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's completely insane to me. Like I'm not a hiker. I'm not in. Not at all. And so like even when I'm on dating apps and somebody looks way too athletic, or they even say they hike, nope, swipe left, because you're gonna expect me to do that with you, and I'm not your girl.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
that means you're not coming to Portland.
No.
Because there's
No.
so many mountains.
Yeah, what did Jim
No, thank
Gaffigan say?
you.
I don't know.
Jim Gaffigan said that you go to Portland and everybody dresses like a hike is about to break out.
Yeah.
So, and I was like,
Which is accurate
It's like-
because he was wearing hiking pants yesterday.
I was. We
Wow.
were on Atheist Roundtable last night. I had hiking pants on, and most of my shirts are like polyester now, or some sort of like, you know, like sweat wicking stuff. So it's like if I ever need to, I've got wool socks on, hiking boots are right there.
I look at
I
a
will-
gentle slope and I get winded. Just
Yes.
looking at a
Yes.
gentle slope.
Yes, I'm like, okay, this treadmill is broken. Who inclined it? I can't. I need the flat one. But I will give you the New York corollary. New Yorkers are famous for wearing all black, as if a funeral is about to break out.
Wow.
It's, I
Didn't
mean,
know
It's
that one.
true.
it's
You get if
true.
you get on if you travel, you get on a plane going to New York. It's like, oh, you can pick out the New Yorkers. They're all wearing black.
They're already dressed in preparation.
Yeah.
Kristin has a question from the chat. She has a question for you guys. Whenever you were on your misadventure with your hind leg, did you leave a note telling people where you went, like pointing an arrow, going, "We went there to die"? Did you do that, or?
No.
No. We had gone to the visitor center at Panther Junction beforehand, and we checked in there on Facebook, so
Yeah.
people knew that we were in the general vicinity of Big Bend.
Yes.
Mm.
And
So that was good.
and then when you go north, Big Bend is enormous, by the way. It's a large national park. When you go north from that main visitor center, it's probably like what, 17 miles, I think. This place called Dog Canyon, and I could probably share it from the computer if
I
anyone
thought
wants
Dog
to see
Canyon
it.
was south.
It's north of Panther Junction.
Oh,
And
south.
you go across this, it's 2 miles into this amazing canyon, right? And along the way, it's the desert with, you know, call it shrubs if you want to. And there's, you know,
shrubbery.
we've seen a lot of roadrunners. Turns
Yeah.
out not very large.
No.
And
They do not go meet me.
no, and,
They just
and
don't.
along the way, there's these little arrows made out of rocks. And so as you go along, you put more rocks on them so that people know this is the actual trail. This is the way to get there.
Mandalorian, this is the way.
This is the way. And very good. And and so whenever you get there, you have like little things where it's like, you know, some arrows pointing both directions because that's the actual trail to go on. So we did help out with that. Picked out some rocks and did that. And it was we started at dawn, right? Yeah, because the sun was just peeking over the canyon. We got some amazing photos.
And
And
you got up early?
prior to
Yes.
sunrise. Oh, it's so gorgeous out there. Yeah, Chris knows that. You
It's
don't have to go
beautiful.
hiking to look at the views
No.
on that side of
No.
the country. So
I can't with y'all. Like, this is so
I
fun.
know. I
I
know.
couldn't live in New York, so you know.
Yeah, no, I'm stunned at how many people say they want to live here and they haven't really spent time here. And I'm like, if you weren't raised here, this is an acquired taste.
I'd rather be drugged through a mesquite bush than move to New York. I mean,
It's not.
I
that
like the
bad.
city
Well,
life. I
It's
just
bad
don't like.
depending on what you want in your
Yeah.
life.
I don't like that
Yeah.
much city. That's more city than I like. I like being in a city, just not that much city.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm not considered city. Like when you're here, when you live here, when you say the city,
Mhm.
everybody understands that to be Manhattan. even though the 5 boroughs make up New York City. So when we say the city, it's Manhattan. And so you can live in one of the outer boroughs, like I do in Queens, and it's very suburban. I have a park across the street. I have grass. I have trees. I have a cat who's doing weird things in the background.
Trees.
At some point, I want to see the cat. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, he's a piece of work. I really think he has a better agent than I do, because whenever I want him to appear on camera, he's like, no, I'm sorry, that's not in my contract. He's just.
Well, we have a park in our backyard. We have a forest, and the corgis are currently out on we have a pretty cool wraparound porch. And so we get to go out there and enjoy, sunrise and sunset out there is really, really nice.
That's beautiful.
And we don't have to worry about, is there like 10 million people in New York?
Still living? Yes. We've lost you. We've lost a lot.
Yeah.
There's that morbid outlook again.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Another, because you guys had the measles outbreak with the Hasidic Jews earlier last year. And now
we had Legionnaires. It's like, what are we doing, everybody?
That's what
plague number 6, plague number 7, plague.
Yeah.
Right. And at some point, you add that you've survived this to your LinkedIn resume. It's like
exactly
a badge of honor. It's like, oh, another plague. Okay, let me go get some groceries.
Well, how long is it going to be until the evangelicals start blaming gay people for New York City's problems?
Didn't it already happen?
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think it ever stopped.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's usually a really early play in the game.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, I hadn't heard it. I usually hear it about New Orleans, because that's not at all religious. So.
Yeah. The whole South, oddly enough, keeps getting hit by hurricanes. There must be a whole bunch of homosexuals down there.
Yeah, that's really. I think
from what I understand, it is the region of the country that does search for the most gay porn.
It is.
Alabama, I think, was number 1.
So.
Thank you, Pornhub, for that.
You know what? Can we just admit that we need a working national mental health care plan? Can we just say that? Because folks are messed up.
Yeah.
Yes,
just in general.
Yeah, America is. Like, I just literally coming on here, I responded very angrily to a tweet that somebody responded to me with.
He could not. He was trying to do a close quote, and he kept hitting. He kept hitting this colon.
Stupid colon.
And he was all like, no, backspace.
And it was like
angry backspace.
It was like, no, there's more of us. Okay, it's a percentage thing. And I was like, stop it, white people. Stop being racist. So
thank you. Thanks for saying that.
White people gonna white people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, racist gonna racist. And,
And it's hard to tell the difference. Like, well, okay, which one are you?
Yeah, it is.
It's basically
danger.
Especially considered appearances. I've been just because of my look, I have been considered to be on the wrong side of the fence. Yeah.
Dude, totally.
I shaved my head back in 2013 with a goatee. Real quick.
He lives that.
No doubt. Brainbug mentioned that Mr. Brainbug is actually listening today. That's the first time Mr. Brainbug has listened. So good morning, Mr. Brainbug.
Nice.
I know, right?
We are deeply honored.
Kristen wanted to know if you and I, perhaps, Miss Leighann, have searched through YouTube first to see if there were virtual tours instead, so that we wouldn't have to go outside ourselves, so we could actually enjoy the out of doors without actually going out of doors. I could see doing that. That would be interesting. Like for a few minutes.
That way.
Maybe like for a background on a video or something.
Nice. I do. Listen, my house is a corner house that faces a beautiful park, and like that, we have a big picture window, and that's the direction of the sunrise. And so I do have nature. I'm just not inclined to seek it out. Like, that's so not me.
Okay,
that's
good.
Fair.
That makes
that's
sense.
Fair.
So I now discover that question was actually not for me or you. It was for. Not for us agoraphobes. It was for those nutbags who go out into the wild area. I mean, for Susan. And
I don't think that's a substitute for them. They like to be out and doing.
Well, I mean, it's while I was in the whole boot thing, it was like, I still kind of want to go outside. I still want to do stuff and everything. And we went to the Paluxy River over in Glen Rose, Texas, where there is a creation evidence museum, by the way.
Really?
We went to the Biloxi River in Glen Rose, and they have these dinosaur tracks in the river. And we went there, and it was it like June?
Yeah, June 6th.
June last year. That was a new birthday. I'm sorry.
Thanks, babe.
I'm sorry. We went last year, and I was still a little shaky from the broken ankle, but I was like, I can make this, I can do it. And
yeah, she did great.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
So if you would like to see the outdoors, not just now, but ever, but also don't want to, exercise and prepare for that, break your ankle. The National Park Service has created virtual tours of all of the more than 60 national parks, where you can actually just go online. And also, if you have something like Google Earth on your, it's easier on a computer than it is on a tablet or a phone. But it comes down in like 3D modeling, and then every photo that we've taken in places like national parks and actually geolocated them, it creates. You can actually just go through these things and see some of, like, you can see El Capitan and Yellowstone and stuff, and some of the
arches. And
arches. We drove by that on the both of us.
Hello,
we didn't
and
come
welcome
together.
to the Atheist Morning Show. It is
course
Saturday, the 18th of April, and I have got. I mean, is it a Saturday?
By Arches National Park in Utah, and you can take a virtual tour there. So that's been something. We did go up to Mount St. Helens 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And thanks for the fog, Northwest.
Yeah.
And she didn't get. She has yet out. She's both Mount St. Helens. You may recognize the name, some of you. 40-year anniversary this year of. I'm going to call it an anniversary, I guess, of the eruption in May of 1980.
Another reason to avoid nature. It blows up.
It'll kill you, right? And then Mount Hood is to the east of us and they're both right at 45 miles. And so you can see, she's seen them in the distance. And, they look like they're in the distance, but then you realize that it's 45 miles and you're like, oh, those are large.
Yeah.
So, we went to, there was the Lyrid meteor shower a couple weeks ago, and we went up to hopefully try to see it up near St. Helens, where there was nobody nobody was there, and it's away from light pollution for the most part, and the fog was there, and thankfully not the Stephen King style one, but
it was not the mist, so that's good.
Yeah, and so we didn't get to see that. But she still got to see a lot of, because the fog was kind of lifting in some places. So
it was gorgeous.
But it's also easier here to do that.
Part of the reason why we moved here.
Yeah, where it's not as many people. Sorry, Dallas. And then also it's really easy to go to those places. I mean, we drive pretty much downtown Portland, just east of downtown, and there's this place called Rocky Butte, and you can see for
miles.
Oh
miles.
Gosh, on a clear day, you can see almost.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Well, I just nerd stuff. Yes, please. Have you guys heard of Star Trek? Maybe Discovery. It's this show where they got people who live in cans out in space.
Something along those. I've heard of
There's
it.
not a lot of trees or bears.
No.
Well, and no holodeck either. So not yet. Not in that incarnation.
Oh, that's true. Hey, that's true.
So where in the timeline is Discovery? Is it?
It's after Enterprise and before the original series.
Before the original,
right?
Series. Yes.
Yeah, because it involves the Klingon War. Why we're not friends with the Klingons.
Okay. Yeah. I have not.
Did I just say
I want to watch Discovery very, very badly because I love Anthony Rapp. I love him.
Okay.
The blonde guy.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Cranky Pants.
So he was in the original cast of Rent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was in Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
He was in that movie too. But yeah, I really love him as an actor. Like, he's just really wonderful. So I'm like, I just want to see like what he does, but I need to start somewhere in the Star Trek universe. What do y'all suggest is the best place to start with? Because I'm Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
So I have barely watched.
Oh dear.
To see The Mandalorian.
Which I haven't seen.
That's fair. Not, he hasn't seen the last. He hasn't seen the last Star Wars movies.
Rise of Skywalker.
He hasn't seen Rise of Skywalker yet. He hasn't watched Mandalorian. He hasn't watched Attack of the Clones. So
no, but I did watch Star Trek Episode 4, where they go back in time to 1994 and save the humpback whales.
Cool. That's apparently
nobody.
That's
How do I didn't even get a
apparently
response.
No,
that is my favorite Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Look,
Over Wrath of Khan?
whales matter. Okay. Apparently,
Ricardo Montalban's
humpback
chest mattered.
apparently, two humpback whales saved the universe. So
Which sounds like something
Star
from
Trek
Douglas
is
Adams.
that? What? Because I'm really weak on the movies. What is that? 6?
That's 4.
no, it was 4, episode 4.
4. Okay.
Or what do they call it in Star Trek universe? It's not episodes. It's part 4.
No, I don't know. I'm
Number
I'm
4?
not literate on the movies.
But it was they went back to 1994, which I
Mhm.
think is when the film came out, and so there was no.
Is that the one where they're on a subway or something, or on a bus?
Yeah, because there's no Star Trek at that point.
Right.
They're using like technology at the time, and so that was for me was like, oh, I know what this is, and
I'll have to rewatch that because I binged some of the Star Trek movies a few weeks ago, but I didn't get to that one. But 1994, you guys know, is 3 years before Skynet became self-aware.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That's obviously the 1992 Terminator movie, Terminator 2, is the best of the franchise. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, I enjoy
I
that.
don't know
Yes, true.
yeah, you see, every time I see one of those big semi trucks on the road, I'm just like, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, every time I see it,
Confirmed.
I'm like, if this doesn't turn into a
Confirmed.
T1000, I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
in
he's like,
things.
I'm done.
So-
Yeah. T2 was amazing, and it holds up well,
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
unlike the original Terminator.
Yeah.
And I still love it just because I love the entire franchise. But yeah, T2 is the best. I even love Terminator 3.
Rise of the Machines. I that's the one with the I forget her name, right? The first time a woman was sent back as the
red leather dress girl. I mean, red
Yeah.
leather jumpsuit
Oh
girl.
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I love that movie. And a lot of people don't, you know.
I liked when they were fighting in the like cemetery and stuff. That was cool. But I was they went from using the minigun in T2 at Skynet, and which unlimited bullets is my favorite thing. And they went
fair.
from that with the thumb and everything, and to CGI, attempted CGI, and I was just like, oh, now it's no visions of like post-apocalyptic dystopia and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I was disappointed.
Yeah, I have to say, it has been many moons since I have seen those movies. The Terminator.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
If I'm flipping channels, which I actually don't anymore, I binge and stream. There's no
Right.
real channel flipping for me anymore. But when I did, if Terminator 2 was on, or like Terminator 2, I was definitely stopping. Like my plans for the day would change. I feel the same about Serenity.
Oh yes, love that movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When they said they hadn't seen a lot of Star Trek, I'm like, I need to start vetting my sci-fi people better. And then we started moving into other things, and y'all picking up. Okay, because Serenity, I love that movie.
Oh,
Everybody
I'm
has
gonna
their
cry.
thing. You just gotta find it. You just gotta
Yeah,
find
you
it.
gotta
That's
find them.
all.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Serenity-
of course.
Did you watch the movie first, or did you actually
no,
watch?
I
the
watched the show first.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched
Oh.
the show first and then I watched the movie. And they did a screening of Serenity back in 2010. I was living in Austin for only like 6 months. They did a screening at a at a theater that was sort of right around the corner from my apartment, and Ron Glass was there, and I got to meet Ron Glass.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
yes, Shepherd Book. I was just all like, I love it so much. Like I just sobbed. It was amazing. Somewhere there is a picture of me meeting Ron Glass. I don't know where that picture went. It's not on Facebook.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know if it was on MySpace or something. I have no idea.
My word.
I deleted my MySpace like a long time ago, so I have no idea.
But it's still out there somewhere, I think.
But I remember just being like, oh my God, like very seldom do I get like genuinely starstruck. Like there's a few people that I have been like, oh my God, like you are my hero, and Ron Glass was one of them.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
Ron Glass and Cecile Richards.
I was gonna say
were the
Cecile
two
Richards
that I was
up
just
there.
all like,
Yeah.
I love you so much.
And then almost obviously last year we were gonna meet you know, the Wookiee.
Oh yeah. So we found out that Peter Mayhew died 2 days before. It was in my Facebook memories today that Peter Mayhew died. My little Wookiee loving heart is shattered.
Yeah.
Because Chewbacca is my favorite character in all.
Is he really?
He is. I love Chewbacca so much. Like anything Wookiee related, I'm just like, I love this.
Let the Wookiee win.
Oh no! I love it so much.
Yeah, we've actually, I think we have some stuff.
Yeah, we have a ton of the. So we have a gigantic Funko Pop collection.
Yeah, it's worth a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, because we have so many of them, and some of them are worth a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But I have so many of the Chewbacca ones and everything. Like one of them is one that he got me for Christmas or my birthday. I don't know. They're very close together. It is a blue chrome Chewbacca that was exclusive to Star Wars Celebration. That they only made 3,500 of them.
2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was such a limited run. So it's like it's worth a good amount of money.
Yeah. So it's really rare, and so I played the long game with that one because I got her stuff for Christmas, you know, and then I was like, oh man, I can't find this one, you know, and I located it and stuff, and I knew where I was going to be and when I was going to get it, and I was like, oh, but this one, look at this one, it's so cool, and I was showing her like, you know,
like,
really,
I tried to get this one and I couldn't
is.
get it, and it was just all like, oh, that's really a bummer. Like I tried not to act too bummed about it. I was like, oh man.
I think it was birthday. I'm pretty certain that you got that one.
Are you gamers?
Cried when I opened that one.
I'm console.
Yeah. He plays Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'm pretty much FPS on console. I don't play the other stuff that requires like brain usage.
He watches a lot of Achievement Hunter Let's Play stuff.
Yeah, with Rooster Teeth. They're funny. So
Christian wanted to know if you played the Knights of the Old Republic, the Kashyyyk world where the Wookiees come from. That's all. Since you're such a big Wookiee fan, somebody wanted to know.
I need to I don't think my computer will let me play any games whatsoever because it's decrepit. So I'm not entirely sure if I can actually play it. But I'm like, I really, really want to play that one. I think I can run Goat Simulator on my computer, and that's about the extent of it.
Yeah. I got Solitaire. I can do Solitaire. And go pretty smoothly.
That what was that Space Cadet Pinball. Yeah. Got that one too. Yeah.
I've got GTA 5 on my computer, and I have where I recorded the loop. There's an achievement in the game where the character runs so many miles or whatever at one time for so many days. And so I use a Xbox controller when it's plugged in because using mouse and keyboard playing that game is nonsense. And so I took a rubber band and something else, and I made it so that the running that he was constantly sprinting basically because I had and then I just set it down and went away for a couple of hours and came back, and the guy was still running in circles at this airport. So I was like, all right, I got the achievement. So it was fun. And then I got killed. So whatever.
That happened in GTA.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter Mayhew died right before Fan Expo Dallas last year, and I was seriously looking into getting a meet and greet with him.
Yeah.
Because he died on April 30th last year. And Dallas, like Fan Expo Dallas, was going to be over. Like, it was just like a big Star Wars deal because it was, you know, Star Wars Day. We went on, I think we just went on the Sunday. Did we just go on Star Wars Day? No,
it was this, we went on, I thought it was Saturday, yeah. I got in for free.
Oh yeah, because I had the scooter that I was on, because from just breaking my ankle, I had the scooter that I was on, and they're all like, "Oh, you're helping her, so you can get in for free, and she can have a discounted ticket." And I was just all like, "Thank you."
That was really, really great. And they did that for us. And like we went to a Nebraska baseball game down at Baylor in Waco, Texas, and
they basically let us sit wherever we wanted to get better seats because of the scooter.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you know, I was sitting there going, how long can we keep this?
We did not milk that as much as we should.
No, it was because we're honest people. But everywhere we went, we got preferential treatment. Obviously, you know, you don't want to go through the stuff you went through.
I'd rather not.
Because we went and watched. We saw a screening of Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
And so we got to sit up front,
like sort of not like front, but like close enough that it was like this is a good view.
And it was in the the handicap or whatever. And also, like, the seats are bigger too, and there's nobody around you. So we got to.
All right, that's it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go break my ankle, and see how I can make that work for me. Although I will say I did pretty well dragging my dad around, because senior citizens get preferential treatment.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah,
they do.
I'm like, you work that discount, Daddy.
That's right. Guys, we lost Peter Mayhew this year. We also lose the guy, wasn't it, from who played R2D2? Did we lose him this year too, or was that last?
Kenny Baker, I believe so.
Maybe. Yeah. So both of those guys we lost. And then if you're a Star Trek person, and me and Miss Leanne here, we're Star Trek. I mean, it's like it's in my DNA. Yeah. We lost Odo, and we lost Nog this year.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Renee Aubergenois. I love that name. And I can't remember Nog's. Nog's name was Aaron Eisenberg.
Because I remember Callie Wright. They are a huge Star Trek fan, like huge Star Trek nerd. And they do a lot of like strictly podcasting stuff, and they're really involved with the Puzzle in a Thunderstorm stuff, like god awful movies and stuff like that. And they're such a huge Star Trek fan that they posted something there's like this Star Trek group that they're part of that they posted something. It's just entirely in Klingon. It's basically like a group where we pretend to be boomers, but it's a group where we pretend to be Klingon. And they just post everything in Klingon, and it's amazing. And they were talking about like these conversations that they've had and everything, and I'm just all like, you are a giant nerd, and I love this. But they were talking about that, because was it Aaron Eisenberg apparently was very, very involved in the community and like was really involved with fans and stuff. So that really, I know that was really a big deal for Callie.
Yeah,
he didn't act a lot after
what was that, Chris?
He didn't act a lot after doing Deep Space Nine.
Who? Which
Aaron
one?
Eisenberg, Nog.
Nog, okay.
Yeah, I think he was like 21 when he first started the role too. Remember, Nog was a kid.
Yeah.
But because of his medical condition, he was a 20-year-old. He played.
Oh,
Nog.
I didn't even realize that. It was interesting watching the friendship develop between him and Jake, and then Jake just kept getting taller and taller and taller.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you shooting these scenes? This is ridiculous.
Right. Well, they kind of mentioned this group that really caught my interest this year. I mean, I know I diverted it back again to Nog, but there was this group of people speaking Klingon. You said?
Oh yeah, sorry. So it's so they have these groups on Facebook where it's basically just like wait, how much am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can never tell. Okay. So it's basically like a shit posting group that people just will post random stuff, and they post it like the stipulation of the group is that you have to post everything in Klingon. So they have full conversations in Klingon. Like they'll, from what I understand, they'll make like Klingon memes and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is a level of nerd that I hope to, like, that I aspire to reach one day.
That's some power nerding.
Yeah, that's definitely power. And I consider myself a pretty good Star Trek fan. And then I meet people like that, and I'm like, I should just, I don't know, go watch Murder, She Wrote, because clearly.
Well, I don't know. For those who don't know this is my understanding. I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure I'm correct. Klingons speak like Yoda. So in their own language, when they're talking, they speak like Yoda. Like Yoda,
it's
they
sort
speak.
Of like a different syntax. Yeah.
So they want to know, Miss Kristin wants to know, do any of you know Klingon? Rod? Because there are several made up languages. Obviously I don't know any of them. Leanne said she didn't know any. Do you know any languages? You're not that power nerdy either. No. None of us, Miss Kristin, are that nerdy. You can speak what?
I can speak Wookiee.
Oh, yeah, well. There you go.
Yeah. I love
There's just no time for romance. The look on his face.
He's just all like, oh my God, this is the person I've chosen to spend my life with.
Yeah, it chose me.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of the season on Big Bang Theory when Bernadette and Wolowitz were getting married, and he I think he wanted the vows in Klingon, but she said no. And then Sheldon kept trying to do like his toast to them in Klingon, and she's like, I said no Klingon. So he switches to English, and he goes, the traditional Klingon you would have wept.
Show. That's wonderful.
There's an episode because I forget the name of the female actor in the show, her name on the show. But,
Penny?
Yeah, Penny. Thank you. Gosh.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, she is apparently in the show. She's from Nebraska, which is where I grew up. And they actually had an episode where they were getting ready for like a Nebraska football game. And I was like, hey, I can do like a double entendre, because this is like, all right, so like the physics and stuff and all this stuff that I listened to them say, which was not correct very often, and on purpose, kind of like House, you got to be able to understand it, and also Nebraska football. So wow, this is my favorite episode ever, and it was really, really great, kind of like a Yes Man when Jim Carrey and she's a new girl, I forget her name.
Zooey Deschanel.
Thank you. They go to Nebraska, and like the FBI is basically like, you went on a vacation to Nebraska. And I was like offended. Also, yes.
It's like, why would you be offended by that? That is a very accurate truth. Yeah. Like a very, very appropriate question to ask.
Yeah, more cows than people.
That's accurate.
So that's what they call it, flyover country, for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. I never had to go there. So
no, almost did.
That's good. Yeah, we were supposed to go.
I've been to all 50. Each one is delightful in its own way.
I've been to 42, I think now.
42, you win.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, I'm done.
Everything.
I'm done with going anywhere. I'm like, you look here in New Hampshire. I thought about it. You're the one that faces the wrong direction of you in Vermont. So, and I'm like,
no, when you said 42, my mind immediately went to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's why she said
like the universe and everything.
Yep.
Yes.
Which is, we're both fans of that. Obviously, there are no Funko Pops for Hitchhikers, so I looked.
Sadly.
I looked to see. I don't know how it's licensed and stuff like that. So
I wanna say I feel like that was pre-merchandising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Funko started making bobbleheads, I think, back late 90s, early 2000s, I think. Yeah. And they started making the Pops, I think, around 2011. 2010 or 2011. And there's specific licenses that they have that require them to make them as bobbleheads instead of as actual just solid vinyl figures. So like all the Star Wars ones and all the Marvel ones are bobbleheads. So, you know, they do the whole dingle, dingle, dingle thing. But the Parks and Rec ones that I have and the Ruth Bader Ginsburg one that I have, those are just solid.
Yeah, I got the RBG one the other day.
Yeah, my Ruth Bader
Wow,
Ginsburg.
there's an RBG one?
Yeah,
It's the best. She sits on my desk.
Yeah, she's the American.
I love her.
I ordered that thing
American
on
Icons.
Yeah, American Icons. I ordered that thing on January 4th.
A week before my birthday, and it just got to us.
Yeah, because one company was like, "Oh, it's on. You know, they push back the release date. You know, and that happens, and then they charged me. This has been like last week. They charged me the money for it finally, and then I went there. I was like, "All right, where's the shipping at?" And then they said it's canceled, and so I sent them a message. You know, and I was chatting with them, and they were like, "No, the bank like declined the money," and I said, "I don't think so."
It's like, it's right here.
So it was, and so ended up getting it from Box Lunch, and it was available there, and got it a couple days ago.
Box Lunch is a very good nerd store, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
I'm writing it down for the wife. Writing it down.
Have you heard of the Her
Down for
Universe lines, Leanne?
No, what's that?
So Her Universe has a bunch of different licenses for a bunch of different nerd stuff. It is it was started by Ashley Eckstein, who is she plays Ahsoka in Clone Wars. So she originated the character in
the chick with the long tendril head things, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. She originated the role as the voice actress and everything.
Star Trek people. Sorry, we're working on it.
Sorry. She's a huge Star Wars fan. Like, she's just a huge nerd in general. And she was, really upset over the fact that she couldn't find stuff that was, nerd related for women. I think it was primarily Star Wars stuff at the time. And she started her own line. She started her own line called Her Universe, and it expanded from Star Wars. They do Studio Ghibli stuff. They do Marvel stuff. They do Star Trek stuff that is like made for women instead of just Her Universe. Her Universe. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It is amazing. I got a couple of things that were made from Her Universe.
I will say this with love. Thank you, and I hate you. Because no good's gonna come of this for me.
No.
But so much good is gonna come of it for you.
Oh,
your pocketbook is going to cry. Your bank account.
Yeah, they have Box Lunch is owned by Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And so
which also does nerdy stuff too.
Yes.
So.
It's the more let's call it like family friendly type of the store compared to Hot Topic. And so you go in there, and whether it's something that's like, like Disney stuff, or if it's something like they have Star Trek, Star Wars. Obviously, we got our shirts we're protesting a bigoted church last year.
Yeah, I hate church.
Can we see? You're not wearing them now, though.
No. Mine's a shirt that has Tom Petty lyrics on it.
Mine's
so
Nebraska volleyball.
Yeah.
Best volleyball program in the country, and we wore the shirts. Mine has it's a corgi on it, and it's in like pride lettering. It says "Don't hate roller skate," and then hers.
Mine is
Rebel Alliance.
It says Rebel Alliance, and it has the Rebel Alliance symbol like in rainbow.
Yeah. And,
wow.
Box Lunch is great. And
this hate church. They're an NIFB church, New Independent Fundamentalist Baptist, and they preach King James Bible, which is like stone the gay people, stone the adulterous women, stone the unruly children, just stone everybody, and not in the good way.
Wasn't King James gay?
Bisexual, yes. Bisexual. That was one of our signs.
Yeah, King James
is
bisexual. Yeah, I had a sign that said that.
Yeah, and so we got to go out there, and that was we did that twice. And last year, and that's in Fort Worth. So if you ever wonder if it's around in Texas, but we got our stuff from Box Lunch, and while I was in there previously, that was actually the first Funko Pop that I got her.
Yeah,
was right before Star Wars Day.
Where is that one?
It's over there somewhere. It was a really rare Boba Fett from the 2019 Galactic Convention, I think, right?
Yes.
And so I just picked it up at Box Lunch. It was the last one that was there, and And I was like, oh, cool. This is before I knew anything about them. And now I know like the Star Wars universe really well. Pretty like I know the Mandalorian stuff and never watched a single episode. I found out that the child is not Yoda because apparently it's in the future. So timelines.
Yeah.
Who knew?
It is.
I didn't.
It is not Yoda. It's
I knew.
just the same species as Yoda.
I just refuse to pay for one more streaming service. And I know I could get it free for a year, but I don't want to get addicted and then start paying a year from now. I can see the future. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
No paying for that shit
Or
again.
my other goal is to meet and date someone who has that service, and I can they trade me their password for one of my passwords because that's how modern love works.
It does, yeah. That's exactly how it works.
There's actually
We just have logins on each other's stuff. That's like today's way of moving in with each other.
I will.
Yes.
When we go offline, I'll give you a website there where you can actually do that. And it's totally legal and stuff, just so you know. But that was actually
Allegedly.
No, it is.
Apparently, it's not very
sharing
often somebody on my show actually adds that as an addendum to whatever they're talking about.
Well, I also
Totally legal.
like, I'm not going to advertise for somebody for free. Except for Nebraska, apparently. But that was actually
and Star Wars and Funko Pop.
Yeah, you got HBO Plus, right, to watch the superhero franchise, the Watchmen.
No, well, I just if you have Amazon Prime, you can add on channels and like individually. So I added on HBO for a little while.
Okay, wait, what?
I'm just telling you all sorts of things that your wallet doesn't want to hear. No,
but that's not a bad thing. So I have Amazon Prime. What is it I can do?
So you can add on like subscription channels individually. You can add on like HBO and Cinemax and Stars and shit like that. So you can watch their proprietary shows.
On the internet?
Is that the right word? Yeah, just through Amazon. So you can have the Amazon Prime app on your like on your TV or on your Xbox or PlayStation, whatever. You just add that on there and you can see everything through. Wow. And you can watch stuff live, you can watch it, on demand and stuff like that. So that's how I watched the Watchmen show, which if anybody wants to talk about Watchmen, I will talk about Watchmen.
Okay, can we talk about Watchmen? Because I got to watch it because I'm in the Screen Actors Guild, and that was one of the things that we were supposed to watch and vote on. And I didn't see my code for it until a day before it was about to expire. So I binged the entire day. I don't recommend that for Watchmen. And everybody kept asking me, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And then I got a chance to watch it, and I kept saying, do I need to understand the Watchmen universe before I see this? And everybody said, no, you'll be fine. I wasn't fine. I wasn't fine at all. I was very confused. I was very angry. I'm like, we're going one direction and we go somewhere else. Like, where did we just go? Why is he on a planet and he's killing people? What is happening?
Why is he launching these people out into the atmosphere? Who is this guy? Why is he here? Like, why are there squids falling from the sky? I don't get it.
And everybody kept saying, hang on, it'll make sense. Hang on, it'll make sense. I'm like, y'all asking me to stay in a bad relationship for no reason.
Yeah, telling me one day it'll pay off.
Right. Although I will say the episode that I think should win an Emmy all on its own is the flashback episode where she is her dad. They get it for costuming and they get it for that episode. It was. I mean, how many of us have seen flashback episodes or flashback storylines? I've never seen one so absolutely beautifully executed in a way that I would not have expected. Just art.
So perfect.
Art.
It was just, oh my God. And it was, I love that one so much. And like, and it gives you this backstory and it's amazing.
Yes.
I've been a fan of the comics since before the movie came out.
So you had something to go on. I had nothing.
Yeah. I read the comic before the movie came out. I saw the movie. I have like the special edition Blu-ray of the movie. Like I'm a Watchman. I have a Watchman.
Yeah,
hold on.
Wow.
My watch will come off. I have a Watchmen tattoo. Like I love Watchmen.
I enjoyed the movie.
I like Regina King.
Yeah. Oh, Ginny King. That was the only episode I watched, right?
Did you watch it? She was so badass. I'm not a cosplayer because people take cosplaying seriously, and there are people who do it are really good at it. You can't, like, if you go to Dragon Con, you really can't half-ass it. No. I wanted to cosplay as her. Like, I wanted that outfit.
Sister Night. Oh my
God. But then it turns out the way that we have to cover up when we go out, that's what I look like when I go out. Because I have the black mask, I have the black jacket, you know, I put actually put a Section 31 pin on the side of my mask. I'm like really serious.
Do you wear a fedora too, right?
I have a fedora.
Don't you wear black fedora?
Black fedora.
That ain't right.
That's
awesome.
Like the Rorschach territory with the fedora.
Yeah.
The actual Rorschach.
Because I want to go out. I want to be left alone, but I want to look good. Like, if we're gonna do this pandemic, we're gonna do it in style, everybody.
Exactly. That's the only way to do it. Yeah. But what the only thing that really bugged me, and I guess it sort of makes sense, like in the universe. So Rorschach is one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Like of all time. Like Rorschach and Chewbacca are basically like my two favorites. At first when I was watching it, I was just all like, oh my God, they did Rorschach so dirty. Like, this isn't fair. Da, da, da. And then I went back and reread the comic and everything. And I'm just all like, you know, they really didn't do him that dirty because Rorschach was an asshole. He saw things very, very black and white. But, you know, the faction that sort of broke off and was following his stuff and wearing the masks and stuff, it's just like any extremist message. Like everything that Rorschach was standing for got bastardized into what that faction was doing. And that happens with pretty much anything.
Life.
You know, when you get the extremists. Yeah, when you get the extremists and everything. So he was not like, Rorschach was an asshole. I'm never gonna not say that, but it was not to that extent. It wasn't, you know, he wasn't that bad. But I highly recommend at least watching the movie at the very least.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the last Terminator. I'm behind.
I have seen one Terminator movie. I was very scared to admit that earlier.
Was it Terminator 2?
No, it was the Terminator with Christian Bale.
Oh.
Whichever one that was.
I saw that in theater.
I was
disappointed.
That was 4, right?
I was very. I think it was. I don't know. I was very confused.
Salvation, I think, was the name of it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
the
saw
Bale
that.
one was Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, they were like in a submarine or whatever. And
I remember something on a plane. I don't even know.
Schwarzenegger CGI'd the film as a younger person.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was not a.
Was that the last one?
No, it was like a.
So the last one was the one with Emilia Clarke. Is that her name? Daenerys Targaryen.
I gotta look it up. I gotta look it up.
The last one was the one with Daenerys Targaryen playing Sarah Connor.
Oh,
really?
Oh, I totally didn't see that. I didn't see that. Yeah, worst dragon mother ever. I'm sorry. I just.
Sarah Connor.
Don't get me started.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton played Sarah Connor.
No, but in the last one.
Oh yeah.
The recent one?
In the recent
yes.
one.
No, yeah, it was Linda Hamilton.
So then the one before that, then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, with a younger person. Yeah, but in this one, it was Linda Hamilton again, and she said, "I'll be back." I'm like, no, you don't get to say that.
That was the one with she goes and the house where Schwarzenegger is.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you serious right now?"
Like, no.
Yeah, and then she tosses a grenade or whatever off of the bridge, and she says, "I'll be back," and I'm like, "That's not how this works." Like.
Is that how any of this works?
No, yeah. First off, you don't get to say that. Literally, one person can say that, like on the planet, you know.
Obviously,
and
not because you just said it. So.
Well, but in a movie, stop. And then she just says it like all nonchalant, and I'm like, no.
Right. That's like having somebody else say who you're gonna call.
Yeah.
Right. they're just some phrases. I remember that they did an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Spike said, "Who are you gonna call?" Like it was perfect in the scene, and then he stops and he goes, Wow, that's never gonna. We can't ever do that, can we?
Yeah, that's never gonna mean the same thing ever again. Yeah, something
right.
like that.
Yeah, which is well, that's a huge tangent, but I'm a huge Buffy fan, although
Well,
I haven't rewatched it in a long time.
I started rewatching it right before we left Texas. Because I've
Okay.
seen it through at least a few times.
Okay. Does it hold up?
Okay, so I watched a video on how bad the remaster is, because they did like another remaster, I think 2018, I think, but like they didn't do a lot of the color correction and stuff, so it just doesn't look nearly as good as the other remasters from stuff from that era.
Okay.
But like so there's a few shows that when I'm watching all the way through, I can't watch a specific episode.
Oh yeah, no, they're Buffy. I can't watch the mom episode.
No, cannot watch that.
No,
one.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Once was enough.
Yeah. Like,
and that was an amazing episode. There was absolutely, if you remember, there was no magic.
Yeah.
There was no supernatural
music.
Anything. No, it was just that, and when Buffy dies.
Yes. Oh, and then in Once More with Feeling, where she's just all like, I was in heaven, you ripped me out of there. What the fuck? Why did you do that?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think I used Buffy in as example about like, we were talking about the dying and rising gods or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all like, in all technicality, Buffy died twice and was resurrected both times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
She's the only one of those dying and rising gods that's actually a dying. Well, does she count as a god? No,
she's just,
yeah,
but Slayer.
Buffy.
So there you go. So see, it's still, it's still not correct, Richard Carrier. Stop saying it.
I've never seen any of it. I've never seen any of the Buffy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've heard it's good.
Dude,
I've heard it's good.
It's in its time. In its time, it really was. And I remember tuning in to mock it.
Really?
Because once again, because I saw the movie and I'm like, they're gonna make it a TV series. This is gonna be stupid. And I tuned in just to make fun of it. 7 years later, I was still there.
Heck yeah.
Loving every minute of it.
Kristy Swanson turned out Fruitbat Crackers nuts.
Yeah.
Which one is she?
The original Buffy.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like went full off the rails Trump supporter.
It's just like Sabrina, right? Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, Melissa Joan Hart did too.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was in God's Not Dead too.
Yeah.
We just did. Were you guys on this? Oh, Chris, I should have told you about this. I got invited to a God's Not Dead watch party.
Yeah, Andrew Seidel.
Yeah.
Right. It was hashtag AATM, Atheist at the Movies.
Yeah.
And I tuned in late, and I'm like, Angela, I love you, but I'm not forgiving you for this. I can't. I'm not making it through this whole movie.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah, I think I saw you tweet that too. I was like, Andrew, I'm gonna read your book and everything. I'm not watching this again. I'm not putting myself through this.
I saw it at the dollar movies. I saw God's Not Dead. Dollar movies.
I went and saw
I'm not paying full price for this.
I went and saw it in Deep East, Texas, in the theater.
I'd rather trim my nose hairs with a weed whacker than or anything like that.
Oh my gosh. I was like, that might qualify for sci-fi because it's so unreal, like so out of this freaking world of like, oh look, things that do not and literally cannot happen.
Exactly.
And I was like, I was sitting there in the theater and they were like applauding and everything. I'm like,
it's like, why?
What is wrong with
I'm pretty sure whenever I saw it, because like I said, I saw it at a dollar movie. I'm pretty sure every single person that was in that theater was with my group. And we were all atheists watching this movie.
Wow.
We were like, we're not gonna. I think a couple of them actually bought tickets for different movies just so they didn't have to say, I'd like one for God's Not Dead, please.
Really?
My buddy was supposed to go with me, and he ended up, because we were at work together. We were actually two atheists that worked in the same place in Deep East, Texas.
Wow.
Like in unicorns. And he was supposed to go with me, but he ended up having to go to work. And so I was sitting in the movie theater, and I was like, I think, we were on Snapchat, right? Because it's back in like 2014 or something. And I was like, right now. Like the movie was on and I was like, I swear if there's a God, I'm going to send it after you. And this person is next to me. I was like, what? watch the movie, right? Or whatever this is.
Watch this travesty that we're both being subjected to.
Yeah. No, I do like the concept though of watching and live tweeting what the group is doing. I thought that was fun, even though it was painful.
Yeah.
I think Laura Robinson did that with 33 AD as well.
Somebody mentioned that from the chat. 33 AD.
Yeah.
Assassin of 33 AD, I think is.
Yeah, if you don't know Laura, she's a scholar of religious studies, I think of early Christianity at Duke University, and she's really great. She is a Christian, but she's also she does critical scholarship, and so it's like what I aspire to do, and so she's also very funny, and they have a podcast too, I think. And so she was live tweeting this movie, and she was like, "Well,
why am I doing this to myself?" I mean,
if you go and find it's great. If you go and find that, it was very funny. I think she made it into some somebody blogged about it too. So it was really funny. And so getting people that are like yourself that are genuinely funny and going through and having these hot takes with the movies and stuff is really, really. It's important for us at a time like this.
Well, see, and movies like that are reasons why I listen to god-awful movies and how did this get made? So I don't have to subject myself to those. Like, god-awful movies is one of my favorite podcasts. Like, I make sure to catch that every single week. Which, Leighann, we need to get you in touch with the Puzzle and a Thunderstorm guys, because you would be amazing on god-awful movies. I'm just saying.
True.
They had Maggie Mae Fish on fairly recently, and she's hilarious too. And it's just like you have that perfect sense of humor that they do. Mm-hmm. So my god, yes. Oh, yay!
God awful movies. I'm writing it. I'm writing it all down.
Yes,
I'm writing it all down. my memory. If I don't write stuff down, I have the best of intentions, and then whoop, out of my brain.
Same. It's gone. I have sticky notes everywhere. So
yeah. For
but
sure.
yeah, like that. There's a Facebook group for Puzzle and a Thunderstorm, unofficial fans and stuff. And I think you can just email godawfulmovies@gmail.com and be just all like, "Hi."
Probably tweet them.
Want to be at your show?
You got check mark.
Yeah, P-Pod.
I would listen to it first. So I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
I didn't bet Chris at all. Chris Mallard. I
didn't know what you were
doing. I got invited to be on the show, and we chatted, and then he's like, "Oh, I do this thing on Sci-Fi Saturday." I'm like, "Okay."
Like, all right.
So you know what my favorite sci-fi movie is, right? I mean, you have to.
Yes.
Oh, is this the marriage deal breaker? What is your favorite movie?
I know what it is.
It's not even sci-fi. Because literally, I think we're this close. Or if you're going with creationists, they're still here. It's Jurassic Park.
Oh, yes.
And not even close. The film of 1993. I'm happy it didn't come out the next year, because that was like Pulp Fiction and
it would have gotten completely looked over.
The Shawshank Redemption, which is one of the best films ever.
That's a great movie.
But Gump and Jurassic Park, I can still watch that, and I'm still like, oh my gosh, this film is so great.
That is my other franchise of choice. I love if it's on, I see it pop up somewhere, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm watching Jurassic Park, and any of them.
Not JP3, come on.
No, the third one was horrible, but I'll still watch it because I'm rooting for the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
that's like me in Attack of the Clones, Attack of the Clones. Like I'll still watch Attack of the Clones. I'm gonna sit there and complain about it, just like he complains about sand being coarse and rough and irritating, but I'm still gonna watch it.
Oh.
What's the one with sexy blonde guy and he's training velociraptors?
Oh,
which one is
Jurassic World.
Yeah, it's Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Yeah,
that one I think is my absolute favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that one because my favorite scene is when they've unleashed the raptors, they're chasing the rogue, creation, and they find it, and then they start talking to each other. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, what does it turn it into? And then it's all because it's got the DNA and stuff, so they can
and they start. I imagine that conversation is like, why are you working for the oppressor?
Yeah. I believe that.
You're stronger. You free yourself. And all the little raptors just turn, and it's like,
Yeah, now you're gonna die.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Of course,
They have a new alpha. They have a new alpha.
yeah.
Right,
And of
right.
course,
Favorite.
Chris Pratt is a
Oh, can I break your heart about Chris Pratt too?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
he's a religious
Yeah,
Sure,
nutbag.
why not?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
religious nutbag who went to like who still goes to like Hillsong Church,
Oh, yeah.
who is like crazy Trump supporter.
Way over
Yeah.
there.
I'm so sorry.
Way over
if you're
there.
conservative, by the way, you know,
Yeah,
it's fine.
sorry, but
Well, not, I mean, you're
You're not going to be happier if you're conservative. Yeah, he's way over there.
yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, a
that's
big
sad.
reason why him and Anna Faris broke up was because he went like
Overboard.
full, again, fruit bat crackers nuts.
Yeah, him and Kirstie Alley, man.
Yeah, huh?
Kirstie Alley's nuts?
Or
Yeah,
Kristin
she's a
Frögren.
Scientologist.
Oh, Kirstie. Oh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she is.
Kirstie
Yeah,
Alley.
she's a Scientologist.
Man, her Twitter account, hey, it might as well be sci-fi because I'm like, this ain't reality.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Man,
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna just like hate follow her.
No thanks.
It's,
please don't start.
no,
following Kirstie
no, I'm
Alley on
not.
the Divine Disbelief Twitter.
No. Yeah, because
Wow.
I don't have my own I don't have a personal Twitter, and
Hey.
so I run for the most part. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
Sorry, I know I made a noise.
Trying to just
I-
ask questions. Lee, Kristin
Yes.
wanted to let you know, Miss Leighann, that there's a Lego video game where you can play dinosaurs. You can be the dinosaurs.
Yes.
I don't know
Yeah.
nothing about it. But
Yeah, it's Jurassic World.
Oh
okay.
no.
And
Lego Jurassic World.
yeah, and because I've got I have the Marvel superheroes,
Lego Marvel. Yeah.
Lego Marvel superheroes too, which is such a great game.
Mm.
Yeah, I play it myself, you know, and it's fun when you play with like two or three different people because you can control the characters and they say the funniest things.
He plays as Gwenpool a lot.
Oh yeah,
actually.
yeah, she's great. She's got a ton of like little like all her little like quips and everything.
Yeah.
And she, you know, because she's so like in between two different characters basically, and so she says all these crazy. She's freaking always at 120%, and then she's like just got these two swords and she puts them back in, and it's really funny. Or you fly around as like as the Vision, and there's
But it
one.
was just Vision, not the Vision.
Look,
Am I wrong?
I mean,
Tell me. I'm willing to admit if I'm wrong.
it's you just think of Vision.
I would get that in writing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But he flies around and stuff, and there's like they have like little special abilities and everything. And there's one of them where he like goes because he goes like through the floor and shows up on the other side of this character, and he just like basically like punches him in the chest, and the person that the Lego just flies apart. Or you can play like as Thanos, and he's got the glove and the special character thing. It opens up a portal, and he just like sends the character through it. You see it like going through this portal over, and he just sit in the background, and then the character, you know,
That is a highly
it's so gross.
highly scrubbed version of what
Yes,
happens.
yes.
I have to admit I don't play video games.
Yeah, it's not her bag.
I don't really
like at all. Like
I tried.
I think the
to play
last video
Halo.
game I played, I mean, I got left off literally with Pac-Man and Millipede. Like that's how far
wow.
back. Yeah. So I mean, I've seen them, you know, I've occasionally dated people like, oh, you'll like this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. And then they try it and I don't. And I'm like, I told you.
It's
And
like
somebody asked me, invited me to be their battle buddy. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This feels weird.
Creepy.
It's like, is this a sex thing? I can't tell if it's a sex thing or not.
Right. Yeah. No, he was a big Call of Duty person, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
play
so
every now and again.
all of this language, all of these, and it's a complete and total blindside for me. I keep thinking I should try, like take it up, you know, because people seem to enjoy it or even find it relaxing. So I don't know.
Sometimes. Yeah,
I just
play-
end up rage quitting
Yeah, I
a lot of the
play.
time. Like I have like a special edition Xbox One that's the Halo Guardians edition because I like Halo.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
really
like
cool.
Halo. I used to play it and then I remembered I'm really bad at Halo. So I'm like, I'm not gonna play this anymore. So the Xbox is currently sitting at the bottom of the closet.
Yeah, it's over there.
Wow.
It's there's nothing being done with it. And I'm
Well,
like,
I really I get online to play like Call of Duty every once in a while, and I just have fun with it most of the time. And I'll be like I'm actually there's sometimes I'll be like the character in the game, you know, and I'll be like running around like and then I'll like dive, you know, and like I'm laying
knife throw.
Oh yeah, I do knife throw a lot, and I'll just be like laying in the snow. And I'll be like, man, this is cold, and I got a sniper rifle in the snow.
Not wearing gloves.
Yeah, that's
Why
the biggest thing.
This?
Why am I just laying in the snow? And then I miss somebody, and I'm like, missed. And I'm like, oh man, hey, will you come back around? And then they shoot me in the back all the time, and I'm like, what kind of man shoots another man in the back? And then I get shot in the face, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, it's like
my brain is so not wired this way. It just isn't. Chris, I'm noticing your face. Is something going on in the chat? Are there more questions?
Are we just sitting blathering on?
Yes. The answer is yes. What? What was the question?
No, you looked really serious, like you were studying the chat, and I didn't know if there were like questions or something.
Thank you. Thank you. Save. Swing and abyss. Well, there's a question from Kristin about if you search for Thanos on Google, and you do something, it makes half the results disappear. I haven't tried this first. I've heard
that was I think April 1st of last year. That was the thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Interesting. I'll have to go check it out and try it.
Funny.
I got
real quick. I guess it's well past the hour. I don't mean to keep you guys long, but I do want to visit just briefly with Miss Leighann. Me and Leighann have got this running thing going. I guess it'll look like it'll have to wait till next week for us to.
Not bad.
Because I mean, we're both into Star Trek, and I've been watching Discovery, and she and I were going to talk about Discovery for this, you know, and because I watched a whole season of season 1 of Discovery, and she's watched. Have you seen the whole season of DS9 yet, or season 7?
I'm most of the way through. Esri is getting on my nerves, as is the relationship between Odo and Kira. Okay. But I'll if we don't get to talk about it, that's fine, because now I know I'll get to finish it this week. I'll get through season 7,
and we're going to try to finish season 2 of Discovery, because I have this huge
doable.
Yeah. I have this huge thing written over here, my questions and stuff, because I have issues with. I love the show, but I have issues with the show. But I love the show.
Oh, tons of issues. I'm not saying it's issue free.
Yeah. But there's things I just love so much.
My girl needed a ship's counselor, and I don't mean Tilly.
No doubt. No. Yeah,
Tilly is she's a hot mess.
She absolutely is. Yeah. There's just a lot, but there's things I really love about it. I like and I enjoy the actor who plays Tyler, and I enjoy Vogue. Oh. I like both of those. You know, I don't know why. He does a really good job. I was glad when they brought him back. There's things about the story though that they turned him into Tyler in a month. That's cray. I ain't buying it. That's crazy. Things like that were kind of hard. We'll get to those, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Next time.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
I have something to look forward to.
Yes. And then of course, Esri. See, so we lost Jadzia, and they want to just shove Esri down your damn throat every freaking episode to try to get you to like her. And I'm like, oh my God, stab me in the eye if it's another Esri episode.
I just got through the Esri channeling her inner serial killer to find a killer episode. I was like, I'm done. I'm like, can she go sit down now?
Right. Yeah. Have you got to the part where I was like, you're going to be going, no, Worf, no? You'll know it when you get there. Okay, you haven't got that?
No, I don't think I've gotten there yet. Yeah. Oh, I watched the episode where they go into the holosuite to rescue Vic.
Okay.
And it was, man.
That's fun,
just
huh?
To see them dressed up in those swanky outfits. I was like, you know what? Let me hit pause and go put on a nice dress.
That was
so I can pretend I'm in this scene.
That
put
was
on some pumps, put on a dress, and I'm gonna go to the casino.
Have you gotten to the root beer scene?
Mm-mm.
Okay, do you know what I'm talking about? I've talked about.
You told. Oh, I'm sorry, those guys.
No, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't. I haven't gotten to it. And I remember you talking about it.
Okay.
You know,
perfect.
That they're drinking it and it's not good.
Yeah, it's okay. Garrick and Quark, and Garrick and Quark have a scene in Quark's bar over root beer, and that's a root beer moment. And by that moment, that's such a wonderful scene between such great actors. We gauge other sci-fi shows. Be like, Deep Space Nine has got lots of root beer moments where it's just wonderful actors, wonderful scenes. You're like, man, that's awesome. Star Trek The Next Generation's got a couple of them, There are 4 lights, but it doesn't really have a lot of root beer moments. Voyager doesn't seem to have any root beer moments. Good show, it's all right, but it just doesn't have those wonderful moments like this one here.
But you know what? That goes back to Susan's question in the very beginning about this. If she's going to jump in, where does she jump in?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And we never answered that, because my answer would be Next Generation.
Mhm.
Mine would be the original series, and here's why. It's because we are watching Discovery right now, and we're fixing to start with season 2. And it opened the end of season 1. They go, we're getting an emergency hail from somebody. And who is it? It's the Enterprise from Captain Pike.
Can I tell you?
Oh, damn.
From the
I've
original
seen that
thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. I mean, if you're asking me, in order to get the most out of the show, you watch the original series, including the Cage pilot first. I understand Leann's deal about taste and style and year and all that. But I mean, if you want to get the beginning of Star Trek, you kind of really got to start there. Watch that. The original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. It is hard. It's a commitment. You gotta love.
How much of it is like a trudge through?
Well,
Like, are there specific seasons and specific?
It's no Babylon 5. I mean,
no,
it's
they
not
know Babylon
horrible.
5. Oh, Babylon 5's first season. It's just unfortunate.
Parks and Rec's first season.
Which one?
Luckily, that one's Parks and Rec's first
Parks and
season.
Rec.
Luckily, that one's only like 6 episodes. So
Never seen that. Yeah. So
Chris, I was gonna say that the end of season 1, beginning of season 2 for Discovery, when they get that hail, I cry. I've seen it 3 times. I cry every time.
I know. I was sitting there. I was like,
it's just
because I'm so familiar with.
I'm
Captain
like, I'm
Pike.
a mess. Is this hormones? What's going on?
After seeing that, we watched that. Me and the wife watched that, and then after that, I got her to watch half of the Cage, the original Cage. So she got to see the original captain who played Pike, and there was a different doctor.
Wasn't he delicious?
Oh, I tell you, there was a different. And Spock was on the bridge, but he was the second officer. The woman who plays Pike, Majel Barrett, she was the first officer playing number 1. I think that's all they called her through the show. And all these things. And she's like, oh, hey, isn't that the lady who, oh, hey, is it? And there was so much that she could relate to, even though, and then seeing all that she's seen. So it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. But like I say, now we're going to go watch these episodes. I want to watch season 2. I don't know anything about it. Is this going to lead to a new Star Trek season? Are we going to see Kirk? We're going to see Spock. Huh? We're going to see, I haven't seen season 2 yet.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Don't spoil anything. But Kirk is bound to be in here somewhere. I would be surprised if we don't see him at all. I'm just saying. So these people haven't seen any of this.
But
so
if you put it on the timeline, it's too soon to see him.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because Spock is old as hell. We forget that Vulcans live longer than humans.
Yeah, but I mean, in this, at least, I mean, Pike has already got the gray hairs. So Kirk is at least like a lieutenant somewhere in the. That's what I'm talking about. He's at the lower ranks. He's in his beginning career. Somewhere he's on some ship somewhere serving as a junior officer,
or maybe still going through Starfleet Academy.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. Did he go? But if you go by the movies, he went through. Well, he was 4 years after Spock went through the academy. If you go by the movies,
but if you go by the reboot, they're in together.
That's true.
They're not in.
I've seen those.
Yeah,
I've seen those.
I like those.
In the reboot, though, Spock is actually he's in the academy, but he's working. He's like an officer. He's a commander of rank who is programming the Kobayashi Maru. He's not a cadet going through the academy. He's already gone through the academy, and now he's an employee of the academy training cadets. And whenever they move to the starship, he actually goes to the commander, the first officer of the Enterprise in that movie. So he's already an officer. So I don't know how long he was in the Starfleet before.
I need to watch those again.
I'm sitting here going, I had other plans today, but now all I want to do is watch more Star Trek.
Me and the wife are binging season 2 this weekend. Yeah, she's got 4 days off.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through my DS9 and then start Voyager.
Should we watch Picard? Is that any good? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Because both Picard and Discovery are on CBS, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I will fully admit that I cannot answer that question rationally. Because I am biased. I'm a Star Trek fan. Picard is perhaps my favorite captain. I love his acting. I would watch that man blow his nose and pay $50 for the privilege.
Yeah.
So I watched it with a very biased eye. There were a couple of things where I was like, but overall, I think it's very good.
Okay. Yeah, to do that, he's able to. He has a pretty good range of characters, so it'll be interesting to see him.
Hell, he was Gurney Halleck in the original Dune movie, was he not?
He was.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Dune.
Wow.
I saw like
Timothy
promotional
Chalamet, right?
shots from that, and I'm just
You
like,
saw
like promo shots like from set and stuff. I'm just all like, this just looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
I wasn't excited about it because anytime anyone's done Dune, it's been a disappointment. And so I've learned to live with disappointment. Like, oh, they're gonna do Dune, it's gonna be terrible. But you know, I'm reading they're actually taking the work seriously.
I've heard
That's
that too.
good. Yeah.
You know, you can't half-ass Frank Herbert. You can't half-ass the Dune universe. It's way too good. It's way too complex. It's way too rich.
Yeah.
You know, you either come with the dollars to do it or you don't do it at all.
Well, Chalamet is we'll see where his range goes, because that's a different character than he normally plays. So you know, I don't think this is going to be called by your name.
No.
And Sexy Pants is in it. Aquaman. Oh,
yes, he is Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
That is one pretty man.
Yeah.
I actually
There's
forget his
one
name
character.
sometimes because I refer to him as Mr. Lisa Bonet's husband,
So
that I keep myself honest. Because otherwise, they're gonna need a restraining order. Because
He is a beautiful man.
And it'll be interesting to see if he has range, because he plays the same character in every film.
Kind of pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah. He's like a Nickelback song, except for not awful. It's just like the same thing.
Okay, didn't Harrison Ford do that his entire career?
Well, I'm not saying Harrison.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, Han Solo, not quite the same as the Fugitive. Yeah. See, I had to think of a really obscure film for that. Oh,
yeah. Okay.
No, Finding
said
Henry.
Regarding Henry. I remember that.
That is a good one.
Yes. Yeah. I just dropped Harrison Ford bombs. I didn't know I knew.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
Very proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Apparently you are a Harrison Ford fanboy.
Apparently.
And you didn't know it.
Those are early films.
Yeah.
So-
No, I never have a problem with an actor. Okay, I shouldn't say this. If you're very, very good, you have range and you can play lots of things, and you are at the top of your game. And then some people find their one note and they play that. And I'm like, if somebody's gonna pay you to do that, you win.
Exactly.
I still think that's a win. And he could play pretty boy, pretty man, fight monster, whatever he is, every single movie. I'm gonna go and watch it. One of my favorite jokes, I did this at Dragon Con, I think it was last year, and I said, hey, you guys, somebody told me this, and I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody told me that Aquaman has a plot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't remember that.
Like, I just remember being in a trance the whole time.
The whole time.
I remember.
I had a similar experience with Wonder Woman. Oh my goodness!
I can see that. That's totally fair.
Oh yeah, Chris Pike, right?
Damn straight, baby. One time with me, he'd never go back to women.
Pine.
I'm just saying.
Chris Pine, my bad.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, he purdy.
He's pretty, man.
He's in 1984 as well. Well, I mean, there's theories.
No
about
spoilers.
That
No spoilers.
No, we haven't seen it.
Oh no.
But if he's actually alive, or if it's the like Mysterio type character that's in the most recent Spider-Man. Yeah. So.
I never saw the most recent Spider-Man. So
yeah, I haven't
Me
either.
neither.
Something for me. Didn't
Is it on anything? Is it on any of the platforms?
What's that?
The
Probably
latest
Disney Plus.
Spider-Man.
It might be on Amazon, maybe.
I don't know if it's on Disney Plus.
Because isn't Marvel Disney property?
Yeah.
So it's probably Disney Plus.
So I'll never see another Marvel movie again.
No, it's
See if it's on Netflix.
Well, it's this guy. You know, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, which, by the way, never gets credit for the stuff that he does well.
I know.
Yeah,
I think everybody's still got a bad taste in their mouth after Prince of Persia, though.
that's fair. or the Jarhead. Oh God.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he's got the big green helmet on, and I was like, well, that's Mysterio. And if you don't know who that is, you know, like he's obviously a villain because he's Mysterio, and
just because of the way he looks.
So he's got the costume.
It's villainous.
Right, costume. So I didn't spoil shit. It's Mysterio. Okay.
Did you say villainist?
I did.
So yeah, don't be judgy.
He's a good character.
We don't villain hate.
No.
Yeah, sometimes villains are the best part of the movie. That was my favorite part of Die Hard.
Again, Benedict Cumberbatch.
No. Benedict Cumberbatch is a good hero, but that was the head of House Slytherin.
No, he's
Alan Rickman, but
Alan Rickman.
like he was talking about watching Benedict Cumberbatch in the second Star Trek reboot.
Oh yeah.
As Khan.
I don't
think
he shouldn't have been Khan.
No, he should not have.
But he's so pretty though.
Yeah.
He is pretty and he's a wonderful actor.
But he
should not have had that role.
He should not.
I love that movie. I mean, so somebody mentioned the Kelvin universe, the movies we're talking about. Me and the wife went to watch. I'd already seen the Star Trek 2009. We went to see that. She and I just started kind of dating. We've been dating. We're watching this movie. It opens up with Kirk's dad giving his life to save Kirk as Kirk is being born. And I'm bawling like a baby. And the wife's going, you're crying over Star Trek? I'm like, oh. Yeah, I was crying over Star Trek. Khan in the second movie, whenever it's not Kirk screaming out Khan and you know, stuff like that. It's Spock screaming out Khan. I'm all bawling like a baby. I loved it. It was great.
Yes.
Yeah. But again, I do enjoy the movies, but Khan Indian Singh, a gentleman from the Indian.
No, that is fair. That is fair.
You know, he's from India.
Very, very good point. Yeah.
It was really it was a little bit of a push for Ricardo Montalban to be playing him. Just a little bit, you know, but to have Benedict Cumberbatch, I mean, I don't have a piece of anything on my screen as wide as that man's face. Nothing.
I mean, except for maybe our faces.
Oh, baby, huh? No, he's pretty wide. He's one of those bigger waddy.
Ricardo Montalban was at least swarthy. Can I use that word?
Yeah, he was that kind of handsome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
True.
My God, I'm old as hell.
Yeah. It's like Simon Pegg was the best looking character in that film, right?
That's a bad thing, I think.
No, by the way, Leanne, I have trouble finding my favorite part of Die Hard because it's just like maybe the second or third best film ever made.
I think that's Christmas movie.
So it's easily the best Christmas movie ever.
It's true.
I'm sorry.
Can I tell you that I have people in my life that argue with me every year because they love Christmas movies. And I'm like, oh, you love Die Hard. They're like, no, it's not a Christmas movie. And I'm like, I'm going to punch you in the throat. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Even before I had seen Die Hard, I knew it was a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
At a Christmas party.
I watched it again. I think it was last year. I watched it several times because I think it was like on loop for the holidays.
Yeah.
And every scene, I think you're right. It's a great movie. It all connects. It all holds up. It all makes sense. Why is he barefoot? The opening conversation on the plane. I mean, it's just
yes. Yeah, it does. It was
a great
right.
job.
Well,
one of my favorite memes is it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from Nakatomi Tower.
Yeah. Well, you know that
Great
they actually because I was talking to Susan about that.
So I knew this.
They had him up on the they were gonna like drop him onto the padded
little thing,
air inflated thing at the end of the film, and they said, all right, we're going to count to 3 and then basically just let go and you'll fall down. And so they went 1, 2 and they dropped him.
So that look of shock is real.
That's 100% authentic.
Alan Rickman is all like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's making that.
I love it. That's
really
like how
great.
they scared the actors in Aliens
Mm-hmm.
when they were cutting it open. Alien,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And what just happened?
They were not. They were
very
ready for
real,
that. So it's
real fear.
Yeah, face huggers, man. That's present.
Yeah.
Scary.
Oh my God, I so want to change my plans today and just watch freaking movies, like everything we've talked about.
Well, you know what? We've been
No, I
storing
wanna
up
go
this
watch Star
whole
Trek,
week
so.
about what to watch with Leanne and talk with Leanne. We're so ready now. Now I'm ready to get this next week through so I can get back with
I know,
Leanne
right?
and
Yeah,
talk.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
But you know what? It's good. It's good because we'll have an even more robust conversation
Truth.
about it next week.
People will be like, do you have a guest for next Saturday? Like, what guest? What do I need a guest for? I don't need a guest. No.
Yeah,
Me and Leanne
like
got
William
this.
Shatner called, and they're like, "No, we're busy."
Oh, you know, I know this is going to sound
Talking about
crazy.
Star Trek.
Peep this, my homies. Do you know this sounds crazy? I would like to get, I know it's going to sound crazy. I don't think it'll happen. It could possibly happen. I've seen Cirroc Lofton do live streams on the internet, just kind of like with some friends of his, and they're doing stuff talking about Star Trek. I would like to see about, if you don't know who Cirroc Lofton is, he was a Jake Sisko from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
I would like to see about getting him on the show for Sci-Fi Saturday.
Is
That
he
would be-
single?
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
So I still think you need to talk to Callie Wright, because they are in the upper echelons of Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
I can send them a message on
I love
Facebook.
Callie.
Yeah.
I'll send them a message on Facebook and see if I can put y'all in touch, because they are
Wonderful.
Star Trek nerd.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then-
Like
Yeah.
y'all are
Super powerhouse nerdy. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, like y'all are each other's people
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're not. I don't have that range. You know, I have.
I'm
run
gonna,
like a-
I'm gonna watch Star Trek.
Yeah, I
I'm
run.
gonna do
I think I have like a wide swath of little things that I kind of get into, like JP and stuff like that. But then I don't think I have anything that I'm.
You don't go off the deep end with
No.
stuff like I have with
Call it deep, and it's not an insult. I'm saying.
Star Wars.
Hey, Leanne, just curious. Have you seen Stargate, the series, SG-1? Have you seen any of that?
I have,
Okay.
but I left off. There's so many of them.
There are.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
for
I
future
kinda-
conversation. I was just curious.
Yeah, and I think I'm somewhere, and I'd have to start from the beginning again because I left off a few years ago, like in the middle of season 5
Gotcha.
or 6, and my complaint is the same. I'm like, where is your prime directive? How are you just stomping through this gate and just interrupting societies, fucking shit up?
Right.
And, oh, my bad, we just killed everybody. Let's go back through the gate. Sorry.
So at least in the movie they had like an idea of what they were aiming towards.
Right.
But like in the show, it's just all like, well, we're just gonna go to random places and random times, and it's just like,
yeah.
Well, actually,
What did
they're
you
searching.
aim
They're
to
supposed to be searching for weapons to defend themselves from the Goa'uld, and then those cultures
Yeah.
that they run into are not actually real cultures that develop there on their own. Those are humans who were taken from our world and forced to live in mid-century, 12th century type lives. So we're really trying to bring them home in their own place. That's my view of it, but it's a long time since I've seen it. I love the show. See, the end of season 7. They were going to end the show. We're done. So they wrote a movie. They were going to make a movie. And then they decided, oh, you know what? We're going to take up for season 8. So they made that movie the end of season 7, the beginning of season 8. I have to say that's one of the best science fiction movies I've ever seen. If you've watched the whole show and you're up on everything, if you just pop in, you ain't going to get nothing, but
So wait,
wonderful stuff.
What start was that? Was that
SG-1?
the original?
Yeah, the first one.
So that movie didn't predate the series?
Oh, that movie did, but they were at the end of the series, like in Serenity,
They made it like
they made
another
the series
one,
and they were going to make a movie. Well,
Mhm.
and they started to make a movie after the series, the final hoorah. And then,
Like Serenity. Okay.
right, like Serenity, then the network took the show up again instead of canceling it. So they went ahead and made that movie the end of season 7 and the beginning of season 8. And it's just fantastic.
What's that movie called?
It's just, I don't remember. It's just the end of the final episode of season 7 and the beginning. Like I say, there's not really a movie to it because they took what was going to be that movie to close out the series and they turned it into that's kind of deal. So.
Okay.
Good morning, Austin Atheists helping out the homeless. Good morning. And Valencia Burns. Good morning, everybody. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you, man. We really did some nerding today. Different kind of nerding.
We did. This was wide-ranging, free-ranging.
I branch out among many different fandoms, and then I get very obsessed with them.
Yeah, we all were doing nature nerding at the beginning, and that kind of creeped out several of us. But
Yeah.
Everyone's all like,
Yeah.
all right, we're done with that part.
Certainly did not want to, detract or distract from the Star Trek. I almost said the other one. Because again, it's like it's not in my vernacular.
Right.
I've spent the last month and a half in critical Christian like scholarship type stuff and reading a bunch of stuff.
That's his nerdiness.
So at this point, so I have fun with those, and so certainly appreciate when people are as excited about a particular subject like as I get about the things, and Susan is like with Star Wars and stuff. So that was even just sitting here and listening to you guys talk about it was really, really awesome for me. And I think, Chris, is that a Philips Hue light in the background, that purple one?
I don't know if it's, I don't know the wife, but it's a string of lights.
Yep,
it probably
Philips.
is. Yeah, we've got
it says Paradise. It doesn't say Philips. It's probably a knockoff.
Oh yeah,
we El Cheapo version.
All of ours, and
we've got the Hue ones. We have one that's called one that is like a little portable one. This is my favorite because it's called the Hugo.
Hugo.
Yeah, it's called Hugo, and it's this little guy right here. And
which that churns up light on the screen.
Yeah. So by the way, don't watch what do you watch? The MLK movie.
Selma.
Yeah, don't watch Selma with the red in the of this light as your ambient lighting, because at the end of the film, it's just red and it's like he died. So but like it's kind of creepy, honestly. So
spoiler alert.
Yeah. I'm glad you warned me, because I do have a habit of watching movies with a full red light in the background. That is
it's good ambient lighting, and
I'm trying to cut back.
But
that's good.
These things are great for lighting, though.
Yeah,
guys. But
Hugo.
Yeah, so it's called the Hugo. And so we just named it Hugo. But
sorry,
but
I really enjoy puns.
That is cute.
We have really been appreciated listening to you folks, and have the opportunity, of course, to talk with limited Star Trek knowledge. Again, number 4, when they go back and save the humpback whales, still is my.
They're on a bus.
Yeah,
they're on a bus.
They're on a bus, and they're in
colorful metaphors. Colorful metaphors. He says the colorful metaphors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know what? I really did try to avoid pushing too much Star Trek until I thought the show was kind of done, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Leighann, by the way." I tried to let it slide for most of the show. I'm not, but I couldn't help myself. I'm compelled. Satan compels me.
And on it for next week, I'll actually have on my disco T-shirt.
Yeah, and I've got a shirt that says the wife bought me. It's wonderful. It says Moe's. Oh damn it, Quark's Bar. It's a Quark's Bar shirt, and I was gonna wear. I have a Quark's Bar T-shirt. I was gonna wear, but I don't have. We couldn't find it this morning. But next week, Quark's Bar for you.
Nice.
We ain't riding ahead.
Oh, it'll be great. It'll be great.
We're looking for it. All right, everybody, if you don't mind, I've got some links below to the Divine Disbelief's channel. And don't forget to go subscribe to them. They need some more subscribers. And of course, Miss Leighann Lord. She's got the Facebook page and she's rocking all that stuff. So give her a look. Go sign up. Follow her on Facebook. She's hilarious. And,
follow me on YouTube. That's what I need.
Yes. Well, there you go. Follow you. Yeah, YouTube. Let's build that channel. And she does the stand-up. I don't know if you guys know who Miss Leighann is, but she's a stand-up comic. She's hilarious. She does all kinds. I guess you do know, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for showing up. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and take care.
Bye.